trying to weight this to get them to help them get up the schedule ladder a little bit more, and then let the biggest employers maybe not go up the ladder so quickly. So with that being a $15 million investment, 1875 wage, 85 jobs, 195 points. So that's schedule two. That's a 10-year pilot. So another thing that we looked at was how are we going to establish the pilot timelines? I think that some of the feedback we've received is that a 20-year pilot is a long time outside of some very significant shifting of who we are as a community type industry that comes in. So we limited it to a 5, a 10, a 12, and a 15 is how we originally set this up. I think it's showing 2 10s right now, and so which is also something we considered, but we have flexibility to adjust the incentive as when we go into the schedules and look at the years and how we decide we want to handle that. Again, basically schedule 4, much the same way, 260 jobs, $22 an hour wage. That's much higher. With points 4 or 5, that puts you schedule 4. It's a full 15-year pilot. And so that's kind of how that lays out. Now, one of the things we talked about was the personal property. We would prefer to keep that out because that's very difficult to value. And so that's something that we prefer not to give away.
It lets down the lower schedules.
Yeah. Once you get to some of the upper state and national levels, companies, it probably makes sense for us to factor that in just because everyone would expect that. But for some of these smaller ones, it's just easier. It's less record keeping for us, less record keeping for them, making sure that's right. So that was some of the major discussions of how this was going to look. I think that we felt that a 0 to 3 year, that first 3 years is going to be critical for any new businesses coming in. So, again, schedule 1, that just lays out literally, that was pretty easy. That was kind of wrote itself though, so we could adjust that. Schedule 2, 3, I think that's really where we're wanting to target. Those are the companies, those company sizes that we really want to try to incentivize. So that's where we need to spend a pretty significant amount of our energy. And then schedule 4, at that point, I think we base that off of 2 and 3. And then we even floated like a schedule 5, which may be that 20 year, but that's such an edge case that I don't even know if we spend any real time on it. That's going to be something that we would develop with and most likely with the governor's office. And
schedule 5 will be something where it is so significant, or there's probably so many special considerations in play that it's probably going to be outside of the policy metrics anyway. And so we have to be something that we approve that takes the county regardless.
Yeah. The $500 million investment. Yeah. So that's where we landed today. So my goal or our goal was to try to establish something that we could talk about. I feel like last time it was so nebulous. There wasn't really a good understanding of what we were.
We were getting through the pre-pages.
Yeah. Well, that's fair too. Yeah, we actually had to get to that. So with this is something for us to start discussing, and so would love to open up for comment.
Well, I know when we sat through this thing 2 years ago, it opened my eyes up. I think I'm saying about pilots and what pilots brought, how they brought that in and how businesses were attracted to that. And so it really opened my eyes up to how we do business and the importance of pilot. And I think it's a good educational piece that we do every so often to keep our new board members and myself to par. And I appreciate Scott and all the work that you've done to put this together and head that committee up. And I think it's been a good teaching lesson for all of us.
So this is kind of where we're at now. As we know, we do have, lower property taxes in the county, but so do some other counties. And as I've told the pilot committee, a lot of the time, this isn't a maker. I don't want to say it's not a make or break. It shows the company that you're invested and that you want in there. It's the cherry on top. If you're going for 3 different counties and 2 are offering it and 1 is not, it looks like 1 doesn't want to. They don't want to be as much of a community partner as some of the other ones. And that's getting to be a really big thing, especially with state now, because we are so good at site development and having our product ready, that now it's coming down to other things to kind of differentiate where companies go and what they like that. So, I do appreciate the discussions we've had and where we're going and we're getting there. Like I said, if we can kind of get this narrowed down a smidge more, that the board is comfortable with it, and then we'll pull in the county commissioners, Executive Bell, or all of our city Boma, and have those bigger discussions and education on why these are important, why they're important, the way that we are setting them up, and have some of our other agency partners with us to help have those conversations.
I think that it would too.
Yes,
I think I'm one with it.
yes.
And this might be outside the scope of this a little bit, but do we have anything in this, like, it could go either direction? Let's say somebody comes in on a 2, and maybe they then really increase, and maybe actually come 3 in a year or 2. Is there any provision for them to change or anything in that process? And same thing as if they come in at 2, but they're really at 1. Is that something that goes along with it, or when they go in, are they locked in?
So there will be clawback, as we talked at the beginning, because there have been challenges in the past. So there will definitely be clawback, that won't necessarily be written into the matrix, it'll be written into the policy. And that'll go into individual leases. But then there will be special considerations on other items, diversified industry, targeted sectors, that is up to the board and the county commissioners and how we appoint those. But as you said, we've dealt with a company who said, okay, if we do this pilot now, and in 5 years, I build another building and I have 100, can we renegotiate the pilot? I think that's something that needs to be put in the,
Right.
if we know upfront, there is the opportunity for that much added revenue.
It'd be a shame if somebody did like so much better than what they anticipated, then they really actually bumped up to another level, but we had them locked in.
Right. I mean, I think
Or
we should,
more
but
people
yeah.
before.
So in those agreements, is there somewhere in there where we as a board or you as a director site visit and check on the amount of employees and make sure that they're going by these guidelines? There's where we fell short
Mhm.
in the past.
So on our current pilots, we have an annual job check where they have to submit, notarize how many employees they're running, do all that. If they're under state incentives, we try to site visits also, and then if they're under state visits or state incentive programs, they have there's a lot more audit check on top of what we're doing.
I just want to make sure that we're covering our bases.
Yes.
When we-
And the new pilot drives will be a lot written very differently to include a lot.
I think
That's
that-
not been included in the
I
past.
think that was something that the county commission,
Mhm.
would have liked to see more out of us as an IDB group to make sure that they are holding
There's Jim.
everything. Make them that goal. Make sure that they're doing rules set forth.
It will definitely be written in.
Okay.
Maybe it's a fantastic partners that are going to be very helpful. with.
Yes. Of course, we're mainly working by Trace Sims right now. And this is all they do. And the majority of the work that they do is on behalf of the community or the municipality side. So their work that they do is working with our portion. Bradley Law, of course, is another amazing group to work with. They tend to work on the company side of the project. So they all get along really well. They all work a lot of projects together. like I said, in the pilot meeting, we're extremely blessed to have two of the largest firms that deal with active policy located in our state. And for them to have the relationship that they do, especially with training and educating folks. So, we'll continue on this path. And maybe in the next month or so, have a little bit better and then be able to pull together a meeting with the county. And go from there.
All right, any more discussion on the topic? Good job.
Great
Kenny.
job.
Yeah, good job. Really look strong. All right, so next, item on the agenda is old business.
Nothing on old business.
All right. We business.
New business. So you each should have a copy of the resolution, 1-2026, which is the resolution that we'll need to do for the new site development grant application. It is due on the 26th of this month. We already pretty much have all the application information completed with from on the development district. I think we're waiting on the PR. So this will be filing for capital funds to extend sewer to a north site. The planning and to make that happen. So, this grant, of course, is a $5 million max. And since we are a tier 4 county, it is a 5% match of that. And if you have had the consulting firm that the state works with on site, it drops it down to half of that. So we should be a 2.5% match, which is 125,000. If we were to get the max of 5 million, we should be the max of top. But we went on and filled it out to the max because we weren't sure what the PER was going to come out to be. But it will be said to extend wastewater infrastructure to the north side. Any questions? And we'll need to get a vote on that, and then I'll have Greg and Melanie sign that so we can get that submitted.
Right.
It's approved.
So you need a,
We have a motion and approval.
I think motion on the approval of the resolution of, 1-2026.
Yeah, I'll make that motion to approve as written.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Get all that.
The only other item we have is April meeting date change. I will be out of town on the 21st. And so I was hoping we could do like we do this week and or this month and move it up to the 14th. That would be okay.
So you're wanting to do the 14th?
Yeah, just leave it up 1 week.
Yeah, let's pop it around. We do quick.
We'll do.
And you're gonna talk to my boss that day, so. Yeah, I can, I could possibly.
If we get closer to time, it's like be a problem. We'll probably should before we go.
I've already got meetings. That, and we'll have on.
Think about things a bit more. Need to know everybody.
Yes.
Email, there's
We can vote.
more. Yeah. We'll email everybody tomorrow and check everybody else's schedules. And then, if everybody's agreeable, then we'll change the public notice for next month.
And then let's see, you also got some upcoming dates.
Upcoming dates, so March 31st is Bologna Day. I know the bus, the chamber have are full, so if you want to go, you can find somebody to ride with. I do have every intention of going, but as some of y'all heard, we did find out I have shredded my medial meniscus, so I have surgical consult tomorrow, so it just depends on when I'm having surgery as to what I will be doing. doing an upcoming, a couple of weeks. And then April 7th is actually going to be the first ever Innovation and Manufacturing Summit that the Tennessee Chamber and Tennessee Manufacturers Association is putting on. We just found out today, I don't even know if it's public yet, but Edward First with the state ECD is leading, I believe he's going to be stepping in as executive director of the Manufacturers Association. So we'll be having a lot more things happening with the state manufacturers association. Probably more too. Because they operate underneath the Tennessee Chamber. That's the big thing that's going on right now. Except for all the fun and all.
Yeah, anybody got anything else they'd like to bring towards the board? None being said, can I have a motion to adjourn? Second.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.